Is that good? What am I gonna I can't like curve my body. Anyway, so today we are going to go in a behind the scenes tour of my townhouse so I can show you exactly all the details on how I renovated it and all the pitfalls that I went through so that you don't have to go through them. So if you like home renovations and you want the details, this vlog is for you. Also, make sure to stick around for your chance to win a Miami dream house or $1.8 million in cash. Insane. And you can enter at omaze.com/Ryan Serhant. Now let's go to my house. So apparently you guys really like my house tour. Obviously, because it's the greatest house ever made, and who does house tours better than me? No one. So I thought, well, what would be more fun than the house tour? Maybe I could pull back the curtain and really talk to you about what goes into renovating an 8,000 square foot townhouse in New York City. Let's go. The worst way to do any renovation is to wing it. No matter what, you're gonna be hit with surprises. When we renovated this house, part of the initial budget was we're not touching the walls. But then they had to open up some of the walls to run some of the piping and the AC and stuff. And the general contractor calls me and says, there's no insulation. I'm like, what do you mean there's no insulation? So yeah, you bought a house that has no insulation. If the contractor who built the house initially quickly closed up the walls before inspections, so what's it gonna cost to do insulation for this whole house? Insulation plus labor over 8,000 square feet. It's like $80,000. So there will always be surprises, but make sure that none of the surprises are your fault. The most expensive part of the kitchen was probably the fact that when I bought this house, it was a 2-family house, right? This was a multifamily, and I had to combine it to make it single family. To do that, you gotta rip all the ceilings out in the entire house because you gotta run the whole house for sprinklers. And I wanted an elevator. And so to do the elevator, like you saw in the original house tour, we had to drop in 26 steel beams for this house to brace it, because initially the kitchen was a little bit over here and then up against this wall. So it was like 2 kitchen, it was weird. And we wanted one big open kitchen that was 27 feet wide. So that process, the steel, the labor, everything that went into all of that to get the kitchen to exist in the first place was probably the most expensive. So when designing the townhouse, between function, aesthetic, and comfort, the most important is function, because it's how you live. You get the most beautiful house that is uncomfortable to live in, and you're never gonna be able to sell it. Like a classic example of that is where people put aesthetic in front of function, is they say, I'm building this house, I want my bedroom to be in the best spot. And in a townhouse that's 6 floors, you're gonna say, I wanna be on the penthouse. No one wants to own a townhouse where you gotta walk up 4, 5, or 6 flights of stairs to get to your own bedroom. Our bedroom, 2nd floor. I don't need views from my bedroom. You know what time I go? Oh. Can you come to the 1st floor, please? I have a coffee delivery. I've been working on Yuri. Took him 1 hour and 20 minutes. Hold on 1 second. Dude, it is literally, I've been trying to get Yuri to go get me coffee since 9:20. Thank you. Took some time.
The phone connect to the car, I don't see.
It's okay, we'll be back, 20 minutes. Hour 20. Anyway, sorry. So function, but we made sure the aesthetic was also beautiful. And then last is comfort. But they're so close to each other. If I put comfort first, I'd be putting like red wine and like water and shit right here, and I would just live my life in this house. But I'm not a Neanderthal, and I appreciate holding onto this house like a piece of art, right? Yeah. So there was a photo of a cool gym that had like this kind of distressed looking brick. It was kind of moody, but still bright at the same time, that we just saved, and we just kind of kept it in our Pinterest board. Like we built this 500 image Pinterest folder that we'd share with our interior designers and the contractor to say, hey, I don't know what any of this means, but this is kind of which way we're going. But then everything had to come together pretty custom. The original room down here was like a dingy old cellar, and we wanted to make it super usable and make it a gym and have good air quality. So initially there's a big cement bench which runs all the way around the lower level of the house, and that's what holds up the house. So we covered that in millwork and hid all the electrical so that we could have plugs everywhere. And then I knew we wanted mirrors, but where do we put them? And so we had a glass fabricator cut out glass perfectly so that it would match the archways. Called up my friends at Hydro, got a rowing machine, reached out to Peloton. I was like, you wanna send me a Peloton? They're like, no, we're the most valuable fitness company in the history of the world. You buy one. I said, Okay, fine. Got my square weights so that I can do stuff on the floor. Got this cool bug, you know. One thing you have to think about when you're building a home gym is it's not just about the room. You need to figure out what activities you're gonna be doing in the gym, because if you're gonna be jumping or running, the treadmill sits here, and then there's a little hop as you're going up and down when you're running, even if you don't think about it, like, oh shoot, can I put a treadmill in there? I could put one in here, but I don't really need a treadmill because I could run outside. Also, running sucks. And then you also want to think about sound insulation. And then we put down a special gym floor. This is like extra thick rubber from a special company that just does gym floors. And it is like epoxy down to the concrete. I remember when they were putting it down, they're like, hey, just so you know, if you ever want to replace this, you're just going to put another layer on top of it because this will never come up ever. And then you got to think about air quality. We've got heating and AC that now is in this floor specifically, and we have a dehumidifier to pull out any moisture that comes in from the ground through the brick, right? I mean, on the other side of that wall is dirt, is earth. And so you'll get kind of water and you'll get humidity, and so we want to pull that out. And those are the important things to think about. This is my bedroom, which we've talked about a lot in the property tour. And before we go into the closet, because I want to talk to you about that, I am super excited to tell you that I've partnered with Omaze to offer you a chance to win one of their biggest prizes yet. Omaze exists to empower nonprofits to do their world-changing work. Through the Omaze platform, people have supported over 350 charities, driving awareness and raising significantly more money than traditional fundraising methods. All you have to do to enter is go to omaze.com/Ryan Serhant. A 7-bedroom, 6-bathroom mansion in Miami worth $2.6 million or $1.8 million in cash. Omaze actually gave away a $1 million house in Orlando, Florida last year, and congrats to Alexa from Georgia for winning that one. Huge. All you have to do to enter is super simple. Just go to omaze.com/Ryan Serhant. And even better, every donation you make also goes to benefit a great cause like the Make-A-Wish Foundation. Every 34 minutes, another wish comes true thanks to Make-A-Wish America. Go there right now, omaze.com/Ryan Serhant. Help out Make-A-Wish America. Also, you're gonna get a chance to win a $2.6 million Miami mansion or $1.8 million in cash. Donate and good luck. Now let me show you my closet. This floor of the house was the floor that we changed the most in terms of layout. Initially, right now, when I bought this house, I am in a bedroom. The bathroom was up against that wall and was kind of small. And then this was like a little sitting area, and then there was a little home office. So we ripped the whole thing out and started over. We put our bedroom with the 2 big windows. We turned the little office into a nursery, and then we made this massive closet. The hardest part about it was just sort of designing it. And so we worked with California Closets and Deborah Russo in particular, and we had them really help us and say, hey, listen, what kind of clothes do you have? What do you want to have? And then we'll design it perfectly. So like dirty clothes hampers here, dry cleaning, dirty clothes, places for watches, places for jewelry. Like they put behind the glass, you know, the fancy jackets. So it's really just, honestly, it's working and picking out the finishes. What do you want to do? It took us a long time to figure out what kind of floor we want. So we used a white oak, and in the main rooms and in here, I wanted a chevron pattern because we spent a lot of time in here, and the chevron is tough to do, but I think it's really beautiful. Wood flooring like this, you can either have it be seamless, you could have there be a big bevel, right? But then you get like dust and stuff in there. So we did a micro bevel, so it might be hard for you to see, but there's a little bit of separation between all the floorboards, which give it, I think, kind of like a little bit of an exquisite look to it, which is really nice. And then picking out the hardware so that it matched throughout the whole house, and then really making the closet like a room. Every other closet in the house is great, and most closets are just closets. You would never want to show them off, but I wanted my own large closet as a room that I would show off. And so, you know, it's about how do you make every room stand out? That's something that you want to think about when doing a renovation. Don't just make one room, like the living room, stand out. What's the overall stand out feeling for the entire house? This bathroom was really hard. You spend a lot of time here. I wanted it to be beautiful. I wanted it to be pretty. In selling houses, the primary bathroom is super important and people pay a lot of attention to it. So I wanted it to be special. I wanted it to look really, really nice. And I wanted the function to be great. So we wanted a big double wide shower, 2 additional shower heads, and then I've got the hand wand over there. And I wanted the fixtures to be cool and different and ones that I hadn't seen before. So we worked with a company called Brizzo. And then I wanted this big glass open space. But then here, super simple, black hinges that match all the hardware throughout the house, and then simple pieces of glass. The most important thing in any bathroom obviously is waterproofing, so that takes a long time. We also have radiant heat flooring in here, which is really nice on bare feet, especially in the winter. The design-wise, I always loved when I saw houses that had a checkered pattern on the bathroom floor. So finding the right gray stone to match with the white. It's got to kind of look like a carpet, but then it's stone. And so that took a long time. And then picking out the massive pieces of stone that would vein match throughout took a really long time. It was really hard to install. And then we wanted big medicine cabinets. We had them custom made. And where we went kind of crazy, and this is me being crazy, is we chose a totally different stone to do the vanity countertop. Just because we wanted like a pop of character, because everything was kind of gray and white, so we went a little bit darker on the countertop.
Are you familiar with the game Fuck, Marry, Kill?
Sure.
If you had to do that except for rooms in your house, what would it be?
Fuck, marry, kill in my own house. I would probably, I don't know where to do this. I would probably fuck this bathroom. I'd marry my kitchen because it's beautiful and it's gonna take care of me for a long time. And then I would probably kill the roof. The roof was a lot of work. Like, you have no idea. Now I'm just thinking about myself like naked on this floor, just being like, take it, child. Speaking of my roof, although I said I want to kill it, I mean, I also kind of love it. It's the greatest roof deck in Brooklyn, probably anywhere, but this was a total pain. It's not just putting a roof on top of a roof. You've got to re-brace and re-waterproof the entire original roof because it's got to be able to hold the load and hold the weight. Then we had to make sure that the roof deck fit with all the different sections of the roof that the roof actually was needed for. So like the vent for the air conditioner, all the other different vents everywhere. Fire code changed in the middle of the renovation. We picked the wood flooring, we matched the metal railing all the way down throughout the entire house. So what's up here is also on the 3rd floor. We've got all of the additional security. This place is like Fort Knox when it comes to security, and it's great. I'd say the biggest lesson I learned when renovating the house is always do your homework. Be prepared. Like I talked about at the beginning of this video, don't just rush into it because you're excited. Do all of the homework. Almost try to talk yourself out of it. Make sure you work with the right people, you budget it all out, you know exactly what you're gonna build so that there are as little surprises as possible. And at the end of the day, you build a house, but you make a home. And that's why I love this place so much, and that's why I wanted to give you this additional video. If you guys like what you watch between our other property tours, the daily vlogs, fun stuff like this, make sure you subscribe, please. It goes a long way. Make sure you like the video, share this with friends, show it on your own Instagram page, and tag me at Ryan Serhant, and I will also share it. You guys are my family. I love you so much. Thank you for coming on another tour of my Brooklyn Townhouse. I have to go back to work now, so goodbye.